Hi, welcome to week 15. This week you're going to reflect on how the group work went in your um, proposal, which I was really impressed with how the majority of groups work together. It was truly impressive. And also on your own work as a group member. And you're also going to begin the last assignment, which is a portfolio of all the work you've done, revised to the best of your ability. And you're going to write the cover letter for that by Friday. And it's a rough draft, and I'll give you feedback so that the final portfolio assignment, which is due May 5th, I wanted it to be due May 6th, but the assessment committee requires it by May 6th, so I can't have it due on the same day that I have to turn it in also. And so you'll do that on Friday. You'll write the cover letter, and then on the final will be due May 5th, which is a Tuesday of the next week, and we'll talk about that. So what the group work reflection and analysis looks like is it's a survey. I'm going to show it to you right now. Just fill out the answers below. We're just going to begin it. And then I ask you to put in your name so I can have that and I don't have to match up ID numbers. Describe your contribution to the proposal. Tell me everything you did from the beginning to the end, including what you did for the planning. If you were doing this project again, what would you do differently to improve your work? How do you feel your group worked together to achieve the task? What was done well and what could have been improved? Which group members distinguished themselves as a communicator? Explain, and don't name yourself, okay? Name others, and it can be more than one. Which group members distinguished themselves as the manager? Who helped you organize that type of thing, and who assigned tasks? Explain. And then different than managers, like who was good at like organizing the task and the proposal and putting stuff together? And which group members needed considerable prompting to contribute? Like who did you have a hard time getting to put things in? And then I'm going to take all this information and factor that into your grade. I will be as fair as possible and explain that to you, and that will become 50% of your proposal grade. All right, so let's go backwards. Okay, sorry. And then I'm asking you to write the rough draft of a reflective cover letter. And that reflective cover letter, we'll go down and look at it, is where you're going to review what basically you've learned in this class and make an argument about what you think technical writing is and how you've learned to write as a technical writer and in the workplace. So we have some objectives that we began in this class with. We want to understand and practice technical writing. And how you'll do that is in this cover letter, you'll articulate your understanding of technical writing and what the writing experience in this class have taught you about what it means to write in the workplace. First, you're going to define technical writing, and you can draw on any of the discussions that we've had, the textbook, or any of the course resources. If you remember, there was that slate of videos and the announcements that talked about what technical writing was, and you could use that to make your definition and how your own understanding of it has progressed throughout this course. You'll also want to explore how you feel your work has achieved the objectives of the course. So this course says that you should be able to look at a writing task in its rhetorical context. That's why I had you in the memos write to different audiences. And you should write in professional and public genres, like the memo, like the cover letters, like the resume, like the instructions on how it works. That you should create usable, clear, and accurate and readable documents. We've talked a lot about formatting in this class and visual layout, and you can talk about what you've learned about that in this cover letter. You can also talk about the expectations of an audience. We talked about a lot about that in the resume and the cover letter, in the memos, like what your boss would expect from you if they gave you this task. And also in this last assignment with the proposal, what do funders expect from you? And you want to make sure you use evidence from your assignments to talk about these achievements. Therefore, you're going to quote yourself about what you've learned. For example, how did you use research to write the cover letter for the career materials? How did you modify your understanding of the memo when the audience changed from a boss to a peer for how it works, or to me if you did the metaphor or the description assignments? And how did you use formatting, headers, spacing, font changes to make your assignments more readable? Basically, this cover letter gives you a chance to create a narrative and argument about your own learning. Recent research in education claims that when students make these narratives and arguments, they retain what they learned. And this has been in the last couple of years, we found out that in order to keep what you've learned, you have to make a story about what that learning was and how it's going to help you, and then it ends up that it does help you. It's very much like the stories that your parents have told you about being a little kid and how that shapes your identity. It's the same for learning. Okay, so you're going to write a rough draft of this cover letter and turn it in to me by Friday, and I'm going to get you feedback on it so you can use it in your final portfolio. The whole portfolio will consist of that cover letter that you're going to draft this week, your revised career materials, your revised process description memo, and your revised policy memo, and the revised proposal. The proposal that you wrote with everyone, you'll revise your portion of that. What that means is that you're going to do the rough draft of the cover letter and also find all of your assignments. Either download them from Blackboard or find them in your own materials, your final drafts with my comments, to get ready to put that portfolio together. And then you're going to turn that all in one document to me. The rough draft of your cover letter plus all of your assignments that you've done for this class in one document with page breaks between the assignments, so that I can look at those and give you some feedback before you turn in the final portfolio. And that's it. So for this week, on Wednesday, you do the group reflection and analysis, and by Friday, you give me a rough draft of your cover letter, plus all of your materials that you've done for the class, not revised yet, just find them and put them in one document so we know what we're working with. And that's all. If you have any questions, please email me.